I think I finally found it, guys. This is perhaps the worst trade proposal for Kevin Durant. I've got about 10 different ones I'm going to react to, but this first one from the OKC Thunder Wire, you can take a look at this. This is a 3-team deal with the Denver Nuggets acquiring KD and Derek Favors, so they would have Jokic and Durant kind of as a massive big two superstar pair there. The Nets getting Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and 3 first-round picks via Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City is giving up 3 first-round picks, and they get Ben Simmons. Horrible trade for Oklahoma City. It says the Thunder have been stockpiling picks and cap space for opportunities just like this. Simmons is still only 25 and immensely talented. And then it goes on to talk about their young nucleus that Simmons would join. Simmons is getting paid $34 million a year and he can't shoot. And you're going to give up 3 first-round picks for him? Unprotected first-round picks? I don't know if they would be from Oklahoma City or maybe from another team that Oklahoma City had gotten, because Oklahoma City has like 20 first-round picks. But either way, from a Nets perspective, I think they could do better than Michael Porter Jr. just has so many injury issues. Aaron Gordon, he's a body. I mean, he's decent. Let's not disrespect him, but he's nothing special. But then they do get 3 first-round picks from Oklahoma City. But if Ben Simmons is going to Oklahoma City, you know, they do have a good young nucleus. You would think they're probably going to start at least sniffing the play-in game. But from a Thunder perspective, 0 chance I'm doing this. If Ben Simmons was under a cost control contract, I would consider it. I'd consider it. $34 million a year for Ben Simmons. We don't know what his issues are with mental health, with injury. A lot of people think, whatever, they thought it was made up. I don't know. Either way, I thought that was such a ridiculous trade proposal, but we've got another one, and this is honestly the best trade proposal I have seen when I've been searching these from a return perspective. So this is the return the Nets would get. I think this is probably the best they could do, unless they were somehow able to get Zion Williamson. This is with the Sixers, and this makes a lot of sense because the Sixers are going to get desperate. They've got Embiid. He's not going to be in his prime forever. We know his injury concerns. The James Harden thing doesn't work out. I would be shocked if they were going to be able to re-sign Harden. But this is Tobias Harris, which would be like a salary dump, although Harris is decent, but still. Tyrese Maxey, who I think is better than Tyler Hero. Thibault, who's a really good young defender. 2024, 2026, 2028 first-round pick swaps. I wouldn't want swaps. I would want their first-round picks just in general. But Maxey and Thibault, those are 2 really good young players. That, to me, that's a really good haul for the Brooklyn Nets. I also, by the way, this trade says Sixers send and Sixers receive. Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Normally, it's Nets receive, and I don't know. It's confusing, but either way, guys, Kevin Durant, well, actually, I shouldn't be saying this after what happened with Rudy Gobert getting, they traded their 40 first-round picks for him, but I think people are kind of overestimating what Kevin Durant is worth. I'm not saying he's not a superstar. I'm not saying he's not a top 4 player in the NBA. Guys, Kevin Durant is 34. I know everyone, with LeBron aging so gracefully, he's 38, he's still a top 5 player. Not every player is built like that. So it's not like if Kevin Durant was 30 or 31, that's different. He's 34. He's had a few major injuries, especially, sitting out all of, I think, 2019 with the Nets. He had that injury in the finals. So Kevin Durant, I think they're going to get a ton for him. It just depends what's the star player, the young superstar player. Tyrese Maxey, that's someone that would intrigue me. So this is a Heat Nets mock trade. Kevin Durant and Joe Harris going to the Heat. And Joe Harris has like an $18 million per year contract. So that's a lot of money they're taking on. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry. I would imagine they have to trade Kyle Lowry to clear up space to be able to sign or to be able to trade for Durant and Joe Harris. Because, again, Joe Harris is making $18 million. I don't think the Nets would be interested in Kyle Lowry. If you're losing Kyrie, you're trading Durant, you would want to go into a rebuild with younger guys, and then they would also get 3 first-round picks. So I would probably not be interested in this. I don't think Tyler Hero is a good enough number one asset for Durant, in my opinion. Duncan Robinson, I mean, what are you're gonna, I would just probably trade him the second I got him if I was the Nets. You have no use for him at that point. You're a rebuilding team without Kevin Durant, without Kyrie. You have very small assets. At that point, your only big asset would be Tyler Hero and the 3 first-round picks from the Heat and your own first-round picks. So I probably wouldn't do that one. Another trade, this is with the Pelicans for Zion. So it's Durant going to the Pelicans for Zion, Jackson Hayes, Larry Nance Jr., Devontae Graham, and 2 future first-round picks. This is, it's very intriguing with Zion and his injury issues and his weight issues. We'll see if he can get that under control. But yeah, that's probably about as good as the Nets can do, is get a player like Zion, take a chance on him. I certainly would. I mean, again, Kevin Durant is 34 years old. It sucks that this has happened to the Nets and stuff, but if you can get a major young asset for a 34-year-old, I think, and along with 3 or 4 first-round picks, which are basically guaranteed gonna get. I mean, look at what Rudy Gobert got. The Utah Jazz, he got 4 first-round picks for him. It's crazy. Here is a Suns trade. See, this is another one. If I'm an NBA franchise, I'm not touching DeAndre Ayton with a 10-foot pole. DeAndre Ayton on a max deal is a total overpay, especially with the way the NBA is going. Ayton is a good player. In 2007, I'd give him a major contract. It's not 2007 anymore. Steph Curry revolutionized the NBA. The three-point shot is so valuable. You can't be allocating that much of your cap space to one player who averages 18 and 10 on a good night. DeAndre Ayton's a fine player. He's a good rim protector. He's not worth a max. But this would be Durant go. If I'm the Suns, I want to get rid of Ayton. I am convinced the Suns do not want to re-sign Ayton. I'm convinced. But this trade, Durant to the Suns. So the Suns and the Heat are Durant's 2 top trade options where he wants to go. DeAndre Ayton, Bridges, 3 first-round picks, and 3 first-round pick swaps. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. You're going to be taking on a massive contract with DeAndre Ayton through the sign-and trade, and I don't think DeAndre Ayton is worthy of a max contract. This is with the Celtics, which would be just crazy. Jaylen Brown, Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard, 2023 first-round pick, 2025 first-round pick, 2024 first-round pick swap. So it would be Durant and Tatum together. Oh my goodness, that would be a crazy. If I'm the Nets, getting Jaylen Brown, I'd probably want a younger player than Jaylen Brown. I know Jaylen Brown isn't old, but I would really, if I'm the Nets, I want to embrace the rebuild. I would trade Simmons. I mean, what good does Simmons do you at this point? So I would trade Simmons, and if you're going to have to trade Durant, you got to trade him. He's demanding a trade. You can't just keep him, and then he'll just sit on the bench and depreciate in value. So that's why they're basically going to be forced to trade him. It'll be interesting. I'm expecting at least 3 first-round picks, maybe 2 first-round pick swaps for Durant, along with a young, controllable bench player, along with a young star player. The question is, how good is that young star player? We know the Heat, they've got a few guys that, the 76ers to me are probably, the 76ers need to win right now, and they need another superstar right now with Embiid. They know that. There's got to be some desperation. You're going to have to trade some guys to get him. Do whatever you have to do to pair Durant with Joel Embiid. This is really, it's not your last chance with Embiid, but Embiid's not getting any younger, and we know he has, foot issues? Those could affect you later in your career, especially as center. He's constantly running. He's constantly putting a lot of weight on his feet. You got to take that into account. So I think the most logical spot for Durant in terms of chances is Philadelphia. Also, you could say the Heat. I just don't see, if you're not going to include Devin Booker, the Suns, why would you want DeAndre Ayton immediately attached to a max deal. I don't understand that. But I guess we'll see what happens, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.